Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Well-Appointed Desk. Today is my sort of May planner setup and plan with me video. It's probably going to be a little bit rambly because honestly, this month I had a theme in mind for my printables, which are available on my Patreon. If you support me at any tier level, you can download and print out the printables for free each month. And so for this month, my theme was black and white and May all over. I have the printables available in A5, A6, B6, and a weeks size. And they're set up so that, with the exception of the A5 size, which is very difficult to print like full size unless you have a printer large enough to do ledger size or A4 sheet paper. All the other ones are set up to print back to back on a single sheet of letter paper or A4. Yeah, right? A4? Yeah. And then they have trim marks on them, and you can cut them out with an X-Acto blade, fold it in half, and then tip it into your planner, which clearly I have not done yet. But anyway, so I just wanted to do like a really simple, just black and white theme for May, because I did a lot of color, I think, for April, and I just wanted something, I kind of wanted to just dial back for myself, like a little less decorative, focus a little bit more on getting my actual planning act together, because like everybody else, I'm sure, just the state of the world and everything, I've been really distracted. I have not been putting things, so this planner is really more of a journal than a planner. I do put in activities that I do usually on the day or the following day as this is what I did yesterday kind of a thing, just to keep track of life events and, did I get all my work done, those types of things, rather than an actual, like, on Tuesday at 9 a.m. I have this meeting. It's usually more like Tuesday I had a meeting in the morning, like, with such and such client or that kind of thing, so that potentially I can go back at a future date if I wanted to reference how many times did I meet with that client before they agreed on a project, or those kinds of things, or just like life events. Like I use the reference a lot that I think in June or July one year we had a very bad thunderstorm that just rolled in on a Friday afternoon and literally ripped the power line out of our house, because a tree branch fell and it literally pulled the power line out of our house. And I was sitting in the studio and the power line comes in the back of the house, and I saw the huge spark and just had that moment of sheer panic, like, is my house gonna catch on fire? Like, what is going on? But I now I wrote what had happened on the day that it happened, so that I could keep track of things like how long did it take us to get an electrician to come out and work on the house, how long was the power out, what day did that actually happen. So I'm able to pull out my old journals and just, I have that information, and some of the stuff that goes in here is just nonsense and garbage and doesn't really matter at all. And I can flip back to April, which you can see was much more colorful. I really leaned into sort of the cherry blossom theme for the calendar. This was actually me just testing a new sticker design that I'm working on, which are clear translucent stickers available in a muted color and a rainbow. And we all decided that the purple was too dark because you can't see the date. So I'm going to adjust those before I release them, but it's another project that I've been working on. But then, my actual page layouts, as I've done in the past, tend to be a date sticker, the day of the week, either written out or using my day of the week stamps or stickers, and then some washi tape, maybe stickers, maybe stamps. As I worked through here, like this was the day that we set up for the little craft fest in Houston, and I got to play with a bunch of stamps in the shop, plus the stamp that I actually made for the event, which now lives at Dromgoole. So if you are ever in the Houston area and would like to use the stamp, they have it there, and you can ask. They'll have it behind the counter. So yeah, so I just started playing around. I got these really great Witchy Cat. It's not washi tape, it's not PET tape, but it is like die cut stickers on a roll. And I just think they're adorable. I don't normally do like super cutesy stuff, but these guys just crack me up, and I needed a little delight. So this set came with 2 rolls that had all these little critters on here. I really like this one with the swan. But yeah, so the little black cat reminds me of our black cat Pepper. He is a bit of a magic maker. He cracks me up. But yeah, so I added those in as we were going along, even though they kind of didn't go with my theme. But they were super cute. And so I was thinking about working them into my setup for May, since it's mostly black and white, and these are little black and white cats. But yeah, so we're gonna tip this little guy in, and actually I did receive a roll of tip-in tape specifically designed to do this kind of thing from Lauren Phelps while I was at the show. Maybe I should try that. Hold on. So this is the original tip-in tape from Lauren Phelps Designs. She does a lot of planner type stuff, but it says here, satin transparent PET tape on die cut clear backing paper, specially created for use for journal tip-ins, craft projects. Pick your length and cut. And it looks like maybe it's one big roll. All right, I'm not going to make you suffer through me opening this, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I got, you'll be glad that I didn't make you sit through me trying to figure out how to open this. So there's like little green arrows where the roll starts, and I guess you can like reattach it when you want to seal it back up. But it is very, I mean, it reminds me of that like satin tape that you get to wrap gifts, but it does have not a sticky back. It has like a peely clear back on it, which means you can futz around with it and figure out how you want to use it. And there is a little die cut seam in the middle so that you can really figure out, like in this case, I can line this up like this and then cut it and then just peel half of it off before I'm ready to set it. So I do think this is actually quite clever. I realize, you know, you can probably do this with plain clear tape as well, but I do think that this is going to make me a little less fidgety, and I don't necessarily have to use washi tape to attach this insert. So that is a little bit that I needed. Hopefully I won't make a mess of this. You guys, I always joke at pen shows when I talk to people about different things that I am the original cautionary tale, because I have tried everything and messed up. And so I can tell people like how not to do things so that they might not have the same outcome that I have had in the past. So I can peel off, let's see, peel off a little, the half. I know this is really hard to see, but here's the little half piece, and apply it halfway onto this little booger. And let's try not to get any lumpy bumpies in here. Oh, of course. Did I mention I'm a cautionary tale? I really am. Okay, so I've got it attached on one side, but because I haven't peeled the other side off, it's not going to stick to anything until I'm ready for it to stick, which I think is super cool. So then I can, like, I like to really align it in here along the spine And I'm just gonna peel this off and stick it down. Look at that! And it didn't add any like unnecessary patterns or anything. And that baby is in there. Now I can put another piece on the back so that this stays firm. But I might just do one piece just to see how it holds up, because this is obviously going to be probably a little bit stickier than washi tape. So I might not need it. Might not need extra. So that is the Lauren Phelps tip-in tape. Thanks, Lauren. That is super cool. I really dig it. I think she had skinnier rolls too. If you were just using it to sort of attach little pieces. So like, sometimes I like to stick like my airline stub in. So if I just wanted to maybe tip in like along here and just tip this little part in, I could probably use a thinner roll, because this one's a little bit wide, to just put a little bit of tape right here and then stick my ticket in. So you can't use this ticket, I've already flown, but like, you know, to do something like that. Bloop. So anyway, so I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, that's the tip-in tape. How cool is that? While we're just playing show and tell right now, I'm also going to show you, while I was at Drum Ghouls, I purchased one of the Hobonichi, what do they call these things? Like portable drawer, pocket drawer, something like that. This one is the Ukrainian flowers. It is like a linen fabric with this lovely little navy blue tassel, and then this gorgeous embroidery. And this is actually like real embroidery. You can touch it and feel it, in navy and this like pop of lime, which of course I love because I love anything that's lime green. So this is my first experience with one of these pocket drawer kind of things. So I filled it up to use this month as like my trial, my dry run. So I had tucked my scissors, and I have replaced my scissors with ones that have a little plastic cap because I kept stabbing myself on my other ones. But these are embroidery scissors from the Missouri Star Quilt Company. Laura got these for me because she works there. So I really like them. They are ridiculously sharp and pointy, so they're great for doing like little detail cuts. If you are doing like a lot of collaging and you're cutting like big sheets of paper, I would recommend having a larger pair of scissors for that. But for just like trimming washi tape and things like that, I really like these little embroidery scissors. So in my little pocket, I just have a couple business cards. I have this little notebook that I have started putting samples of my washi tape in. So this has become my little washi reference guide. These were the pens that I had inked up last month with what color I had in there, which is super handy. And so I will just sort of kind of continue to do that. This little booklet came from Sticky Club. I had the monthly subscription, and I wasn't expecting this paper to be particularly fountain pen friendly. So I was trying to figure out just for little notes, or if I just needed a little bit of scrap paper. It's really cute. So that goes in this pocket as well. There is a larger pocket back here, and then the zipper pouch on this side, which I have put the pens that I'm going to use for this month, plus more washi, because clearly I have a problem. These are all those like super cool, I did a review about this recently, but these are the bobbin system for washi tape. So these are the bobbins. You basically roll off washi tape onto these little bobbins, and then these ones have a built-in cutter. These are just the bobbins that I can swap out in the cutters, but it just makes for super portable washi tape. So, and I picked all just black and white with like little pops of color, or like this one has some little gold accents. This is in the shop. These are the moth, I think it's moth washi tape that I carry in the shop, which is just black and white moths with a little pop of orange. And then mostly these are just black and white. And I did put this one old MT roll that I have that has these, it's mostly black, has black and white, and then these like little pops of like really bright color, which I thought looked really nice with the Inky Dreams washi tape, but I tend to go for more vintagey stuff most of the time, so I'm not sure if this will get used quite as much as everything else. Because even my little illustrations feel like little, you know, kind of just little pen drawings. So anyway, so that's all the washi. In pens, I just picked, basically I picked black and some neutrals. And then in here is also a bone folder, a ruler, a portable paintbrush, and then I have this like little stamp set that has the like ink bottle, pen, journal, book, a paper clip, and this. And I don't know what to do with these, like the tape, but the other ones all seem functional to me. These ones down here don't feel functional. This one is like I can add this in when I'm reading a book and then type, you know, write in what book I'm reading. This could be like, if I want to make sure that I take time in the day to journal, I can, you know, put something like that. This is what pen I'm using and what ink I'm using, but I don't know what to do with these two. So if anybody has any ideas, please let me know. So anyway, those are the like, and there's a glue stick in here. So this is my miscellaneous and sundry. These are the pens that I picked for this month. And then I used this coloring oversized just to track what colors I'm using, and I've been using this book mostly for this whole year, so I'll be able to reference like which colors I use most frequently. I did just get this new zebra brush pen. It's one of the like Fude no Sake, is that how you say it? This sort of hard brush, which I really like, and it's in a nice solid black. I have two gray brush pens. I have the Marvy Le Pen Flex, which is a little bit warmer gray. It's like a little brown gray. And then the Pentel Sign Brush, or the Touch, depending on whether you get a US distributed or a Japanese distributed, also in gray, which is a little bit cooler gray. It's more of a blue gray. Then I got the, the Sakura Ball Sign ID. Well, this was a new one that I picked up from Jet Pens. It's a 0.4, and it is in a lovely sort of dark brown color, which I thought would be really nice. Then I have the Right Tech Dual Color, which is a 0.5, and it has this lovely brown milk tea color as well as a black. So the milk tea is on one side, the black is on the other. So it came in a set of 4 different colors, and I should have a review of the whole set. I did a review recently of the dual color where it was like 2 different colors. This one is all sort of like funky neutral colors plus a black. So I feel like this is a really good one if you're trying to keep down the amount of stuff that you're carrying with you on a regular basis. You can take this and you have, you know, your accent color and then your sort of main black. So, and then the last one, of course, is a standard Uniball Sino or Signo 0.38. Just one I use all the time. I think this is technically the UMR83, if you care. It's just the knock mechanism. Then for fountain pens, I am going to use, my main fountain pen is going to be this one, which I believe is called the Sailor Pro Gear Slim. It's an older model. I think it was called Stardust, but it's black with like sparkle in it. And I figured since my theme this month was black and white, this would be very appropriate. And then the color I put in it is the Colorverse of Vortex Motion, which is kind of black, but also has like little hints of sort of purple, and it will sheen on certain papers. So I just thought it's kind of like black plus, which I was very pleased about. Then I also filled up my, I have a Kobe Nagasawa Pro Gear Slim. Actually, I have 2 of these. There's a long story about how I misplaced one of them. So then I like went on a mad dash, because this is, as we talked earlier, my favorite color. So losing this one was like a real blow to my heart. So I did end up finding another one online. It was like the last one that was available because this is an older model. And so I kind of had to dig around to find somebody who still had one. And this one's rough. This must be the oldest one. But anyway, once I got the new one, I found the old one. So it had not been like lost at a pen show or swiped. I had literally, put it on the collar of my shirt. But it was on a sweater, and I must at the end of the day taken the sweater off and not noticed that the pen was still attached. And then folded up the sweater and put it away, and then hadn't worn it again for several weeks. So I did not know where my pen was. So anyway, this has Robert Oster Melon Tea, which is one of my favorite weird colors. It's kind of a brown color with a little hint of green. It very much does look like a green tea with black tea mixed in. But again, keeping with my theme of sort of black and white, those were the colors that I picked. I do keep my purple lame, which is this guy. Kind of looks like, I think there was a purple metallic, like that's a little bit darker purple. This is an older model again, that has a little bit of shimmer in it, but this was kind of before Sailor was doing a lot of pens with sparkle in the material. But I filled this one up with the classic Monteverde birthday cake, which I always have inked up in something, and tend to use it for like other kinds of writing. I have other journals that I use for other purposes. So this one probably won't be used in my monthly planner journal, but wanted to have it. And then I kept my Pelikan M600 Ghost, inked up with Diamine Ghost, which is again sort of it's a greenish gray. So it does kind of fall into this category where it's just sort of a warm gray color. I really like it. So this is Diamine Ghost. It's from one of the what is that collection called? Inkvent. I don't remember which color Inkvent, but I'm sure anyone who stocks Diamine will have this color available. And it comes in those big fancy bottles, but I really like it. It's a nice in-between color. And it does start off greener, and then as it dries, it kind of becomes a gray. So it's going to fit in perfectly with my collection. And then I do indicate here also that I have my Sailor Pro Color, my clear sparkly one, continually filled with Quico Caramel Brown, which I'm using in my other planner. This is my weeks that I use for my Gamify My Life project. And this one has an aesthetic theme all the way through it. I really need to do a whole video about my Gamify project. So anyway, but yeah, so this one just is living here. Sometimes it's the other Kobe Nagasawa Pro Gear that matches, because it's, I mean, do you guys see a trend here? Yeah. So anyway, but I'll do a post about that later. So anyway, so that's what I have inked up, and all my pens. And let's get down to business. It's, I've only been yapping for 20 minutes. So for this month, let's see. I pulled two of the, what is this? Peter Popper Press sticker books. I have the Mystical Ephemera and the Celestial Wonders. It had a lot of sort of black and white kind of artwork that I thought might be fun to use. I kind of showed you quickly the washi tape that I pulled that I'll be using. And then while I was in Houston at the Stationery Fest, I did pick up some of LCN Studios clear stamps. And so these are the cobblestones. So they look like little pebbles. And I thought that would be a cool way to add just a little bit of pops of color. I also got their one that looks like paint spatters or ink droplets, which I also thought would be fun to use. So I find it interesting how they assembled these, that the printed sheet is not what is attached to these. So it just makes it, there's just a few more sheets of paper to keep track of. I may stick these in some of my envelopes that I use for my clear stamps just to keep, because these black envelopes, I feel like it's a little hard to tell what's in them once they're all sealed up because they all look the same. So, and then the last set that I got were just there's some leaves and a few other little bits. Let's see. Oh, it goes like that. There we go. This one has a little frame that says, "It may be unclear now, but when the time comes, you will know." This one says, "Beautiful days," and "Absolutely. How are you?" A percentage, which seems odd. Then some other diacritical marks. "Time flies. How can we keep up when we only have legs?" This one says, "Once upon a time," really, really tiny. Then some numbers, but I just thought these would be fun for sort of textural details. I'm not sure if I'll use this one as much as I will use the cobblestones and the paint spatters, just because I feel like those are nice to put underneath like other parts of my collaging. So I might just put this one aside for now so that I don't have too many options. My key here is always to sort of limit myself so that I don't get distracted. And, you know, because when you get overwhelmed doing this, my feeling is that you end up spending more time trying to figure out what it is that you want to use than actually doing the thing. So I think I might end up having to tape that later. So I realized I forgot to grab a couple of sheets of my stickers to go with this. I'm probably also going to play with my Everyday is Catterday, which are the first ones I've done that are on clear stock. And then, of course, I needed some date dots. So this is where I'm starting. I could probably take these out of the plastic baggies. Okay, so let's get started. I am going to try one of these cobblestones out to start with, just as a base. I really like this, decisions. I think I like this big guy down here. So pull that off. And then I have this cool little tiny block that I found. I think it came in like a monthly subscription kit of some sort. But it has a little hole to hang, which I think is really cool. I would like to find some and be able to sell them in the shop because I think it is great for people who, you know, need to take their supplies with them. Oh, wow. Kind of looks like a fingerprint or something. Yeah. Just kind of textural and cool. I kind of dig them. So I need a little bit of blank paper to just sort of clean my stamp off. And then that's as clean as I ever get anything. And then I will stick this back on there. Maybe we could use a different one later. And then let's get some washi. Ooh, we can use kind of like this stuff. Sometimes I like to tear because I just like the textural detail of tearing. And sometimes I like to cut my washi. So, like I've done in the past, I will not torture you guys by doing like all 31 days at once, but I will sit here and do this for a little bit. You are welcome to zone out. Maybe I'll add a little music. I wish there was an easier way in YouTube to like add more music and stuff. Is it just me? So I love these cats. So, here we go. Looks pretty good. All right, we're gonna add the first, which is Mayday. Oh, I like that. We can add that right there. So, there we go. We have the first day done. And like I said, I don't want to put too much on here because I can always add some stuff later if there's, something in particular. I have this stamp that I got from Jet Pens that has like weather, smiley faces, star ratings, this, which is like a tracker. So like I could use this for how many glasses of water I drank or whatever, that I can also add throughout the planner however I want. Like if I want to add the weather to each day, I can. So let's try one of the splashes. And I might need a bigger block. I try to fit these on here. Yeah, do them sideways and they can fit on my little tiny block. But I just keep that one in my pocket drawer, as it were. Just so I always have one with me if I need it. So I think this one, called Hickory Smoke, is kind of a nice gray color. Ooh, yeah, I like this very much. So, and as always, I try to make a point when I have facing pages to try to sort of theme them together. So, you know, like if I do a spot here, I might want to do a spot here, so it kind of carries across the page. And because these are archival stamp pads, you do get a little show through. So sometimes I try to put stuff over just to cover it up. Sometimes I don't care. It depends on what it is. These are so cool. I think I'm gonna like these more than the pebbles, just because they do have a bit of a dot pattern in them. So they make them, it helps make them a little bit lighter. So, but maybe we will play with this a little bit. And because this tape is so wide, I do not mind kind of cutting it in half or tearing it in half if that works better. Doo-doo. I'm sure someone has a better way to do this, but that's how I do it. So I do still want the little torn edge at the bottom. There we go. So do something like that. And this one harmonize by doing something at the top. I do always kind of like to bleed things over the edge because it just, I feel like it sort of anchors it to the page a little instead of having everything just sort of float in the middle. So, and then I have these little scraps, which are all stuck to my fingers. I could theoretically kind of save them and do something different with them, but we will see. I will leave these little bits. These might get used again. So let's mix. Ooh, do we want to mix one of these cats in here? They don't quite match color-wise, I don't think. Maybe on the next, maybe next spread, we're gonna go with, let's see. Oh, I kind of like some of this stuff. These are really pretty. Oh, I kind of like these little dots. I can use those. So, yeah, it's just something a little different. And then we will add our date dots. I feel like maybe I should do some date dots that are just black and white, like super simple. What do you guys think? Would you like a set of this black and white ones? Yeah. So I will do a few more days and then I will let you guys get on with your busy lives. We've talked many times about my Creeping Moon clip. I did get to talk with Megan at Houston, and she's just as charming as ever, and I absolutely adore her. So that was really nice. I do like getting to see her in person since I sell her stuff online. So I'm going to go through the middle of this page with this one. And again, I just kind of try to break up the space differently. It makes it more interesting for me later that I am not, like, it's not the same page layout every time. I think that's one of those things that's always bothered me about like the Hobonichi, like A5 size Hobonichi, is that the page layout's the same every time unless you like just sort of put stuff over the artwork that's already there, which is a little weird. Still don't think the cats go. What do you think? They're really cute though. Yeah. Maybe these two? They're kind of more black and white. Let's try it. It might be hideous, and you know, it's every day's a learning experience, right? So yeah, so these are just like little die cut. And I bought these from Little Craft Place at the show, but I do not know where they, like what the there's like no branding or information on these, so I'm not sure, but I'm sure if you look on their website. I want another, I'm gonna do this again. Well, okay, dropped it, but it looks okay. So, cool. All right, so we really are on day 4. So easily distracted. And then, as in the past, I will probably go through and add I'm gonna write my dates this time. I kind of enjoy doing that. So I will add those back in as I go through. We will at least get through the 7th, like get me a whole week of setup. Let's do some ink bottles with some ink splashes. We're gonna switch out this stamp with one of the other splashes. We're going to yeah. I like. Since we have ink splashes, let's have some inky washi tape. Okay, so these little bobbins, you can like pop them together, but that's better for travel and maybe not in use because I just flicked one across the room and had to go get it. So anyway, let's not do that again. How about it? I just feel like using this everywhere. So I did a video recently, I will put it up there, of rolling these little bobbins and kind of how that whole system works. I posted it, I think, about a week ago. So, if you are curious. Let's see if I can trim that off. Yeah, this is fun spattery page. I'm enjoying it. What do you think? Should we add some cats? We should add some cats. Let's see. If he fit. Oh yes, he will. He's gonna be asleep on top of this ink bottle. There we go. Yeah, way. And there's also, in case you're curious, all these little paws come off. And they're all die cut too. So you can add little footprints. You would think I'd be able to get my own stickers off, right? Nope. Oh, there we go. They peel right off. It's just sometimes I have trouble getting my finger up underneath that. So I'm gonna stick him right there. So, yeah. So, despite the fact that it took me forever to record this video, it didn't really take me that long to set all this up. So I feel like if you set aside about an hour, make yourself a big cup of something to drink, and make a smaller collection of whatever it is you want to do. Like, go through the washi tape that you have, the stamps that you have, the stickers that you have, and make yourself a smaller collection for the month. I find that it helps just reduce stress for me, because I'm not having to wade through all of this stuff, because at a certain point then I don't do it. I don't do it because there's too many options, and I spend more time digging through whatever I've got that I don't actually make anything, you know, or get the actual planning done, because it's like the planning setup took so long that I'm not actually, or, you know, the journal setup, that I'm not actually doing any journaling. So make it easy on yourself. You know, if 6 rolls or 8 rolls of washi tape is too much for you, pick 4. You know, because I mean, more than 7 is a different piece of tape every day. You'd only use it 4 times through the entire month. So like, I always overestimate how much I need, because this is way too much. But you know, I just went through the whole process of winding all these up. So I might end up using these that are on the bobbins more this month, just to use them up, and because they fit in my bag. So, you know, problem solved. I will carry them around. They will go with me in my kit. Where these are a little more finicky, I really wish they had bigger bobbins for some of this wider washi tapes that I could wind it up to. But I could probably wrap some of this around an old credit card, or in my case, the endless number of hotel keys I end up leaving hotels with. It's really freakish. I try to return them every single time. I literally have a pile now that I keep debating whether or not I just need to like send them back to like Hilton headquarters and Hyatt headquarters, because I have some Westin headquarters, because I have so many of them. I don't mean to take them, it just happens. My friends tease me. I'm not one of those people who tends to forget stuff, except for hotel key cards. I will lose them inevitably. Everything else I managed to hold on to. So anyway, this is probably more than enough washi tape. You know, 2 stamp pads, you know, 1 sheet, maybe 2 of stamps, some stickers. And what I will do after I log off is probably just pull a couple of sheets, or maybe just a couple of stickers out of these books, so that I don't have to carry the whole books around with me. And then I will just tuck them into an envelope and keep them in sort of what I always refer to as my house purse, which is just the bag that I carry my planner and sundry bits back and forth between my studio and the couch and the kitchen table and that kind of thing. And then sometimes, you know, they go off on journeys to places like, you know, the coffee shop or whatever. So this is sort of my setup. I hope this has helped. I hope you guys enjoy these videos. I know that they can be super rambly, and I apologize for that. But hopefully you sat down with your own planning materials and made some choices and get some planning done, or get some journaling done, or collaging, or whatever it is that you like to do with your paper and stationery, and had a little time to play with your pens. So thanks for watching. I will be back maybe in a week or so, and I will do a little bit more of this if you guys are interested. If not, I will see you in June.